Hey guys, it's Brooke. Welcome back to my channel, or to my channel if you're new here. I hope you guys stay. So for today's video, in lieu of these Mystery Mondays, I'm going to be talking about something that is going viral right now and is really creepy, and it is about Dear David. I found out about this story of Dear David from Haley Reese's video, and I also watched Loie Lane's video and heard what they had to say about it. And the reason why I kind of want to make my own video about it and talk about Dear David is because the day I found out about Dear David and watched Haley Reese's video about it, something really creepy happened to me, and I am going to go into that, but I am going to start from the beginning of the story and kind of go through the entire thing in case you guys don't know about Dear David or what's been happening. So without further ado, we're gonna get into the video, but first make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It would make me really happy. And make sure you guys spam my Instagram and Twitter if you want a shout out on next Monday's video, and I will give you guys a shout out. And now let's jump right into Dear David. So basically, if you guys haven't heard about who David is, basically David is this little dead boy, and this man's tweets on Twitter started like kind of going viral because he started tweeting about this boy David who has been haunting him. And at first the story does seem a little sketchy. I at first didn't really believe it. I thought it was kind of just set up, but there has been so many videos and picture proof that just will give you guys the chills. So I'm going to go onto this man's Twitter and I'm going to read you guys all of the tweets about Dear David and all of the updates so far, and I want to hear what you guys think about it. And then we're gonna talk about what happened to me after I found out about this. P.S. I keep hearing this really weird like snapping noise outside of my window. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but it literally sounds like someone's standing outside my window going. Like, what is that? Okay, so this started August 7th. This was his first tweet. He said, "So my apartment is currently being haunted by the ghost of a dead child and he's trying to kill me. Thread. He started appearing in dreams, but I think he's crossed over into the real world now. The first time I saw him, I was experiencing sleep paralysis and saw a child sitting in the green rocking chair at the foot of my bed. He had a huge misshapen head that was dented on one side. I did my best to draw it. So I'm gonna insert the picture. This is what Dear David, he says, looked like. For a while he just stared at me, but then he got out of the chair and started shambling towards the bed. I couldn't move because I was paralyzed. I have sleep paralysis fairly often. It sucks. Right before he reached my bed, I woke up screaming. I had another dream a few nights later where I was in a library and a girl came up to me and said, 'You've seen Dear David, haven't you?' I was like, 'Who?' And she said, 'Dear David, you saw him.' She continued, 'He's dead. He only appears at midnight and you can ask him 2 questions if you say Dear David first.' Then she added, 'But never try to ask him a 3rd question or he'll kill you.' I was very shaken. Having 2 dreams about the same thing is pretty weird. Anyway, a couple weeks passed by without incident. Then David came back in another dream. Same situation, I was in bed and he was sitting in the rocking chair near the window staring at me. In the dream I say, 'Dear David, how did you die?' He mumbles, 'An accident in a store.' I say, 'Dear David, what happened in the store?' He groans, 'A shelf was pushed on my head. I'm frozen in fear.' I ask, 'Who pushed the shelf?' David doesn't answer. I realize that I've asked a 3rd question, which I'm not supposed to do. At that point, I wake up absolutely terrified. The next couple of days, I Googled deaths in the city, but I can't find anything about a kid named David dying in a store. I even tried different names, Daniel, Dylan, Devin, nothing. A few weeks go by without incident. Sort of randomly, the apartment above mine is vacated and I have the opportunity to move into it. It's a larger apartment, so I'm thrilled. Another month or 2 goes by, I sort of forget about Dear David. I think he lost track of me because I moved upstairs. But lately, something strange has been happening. For the past 4 nights, my cats gather at the front door at exactly midnight. and just stare at it, almost like something is on the other side. Last night, I got a weird feeling and looked out the peephole, and I'm dead certain I saw movement on the other side. When I opened the door and turned on the hall light, nothing was there, but my cats seemed unnerved, bushy tails, etc. And that's where I am right now. Dear David found me, I think. I don't know what to do. I'll keep you updated. So that was all from August 7th. Then on August 9th, he put out an update, and he said, "Update. For the 6th night in a row, my cat has walked over to the door promptly at midnight and stared at it." And he included a picture of the cat staring at the door at just about midnight, just sitting there staring at the door. He then posts a video of the cat like sniffing the door and sitting by the door and captions it, "What's going on?" Then he says, "Okay, so I took a photo through the peephole because I'm too scared to open the door. I feel like I saw something. I couldn't tell, so I mustered the courage to open the door. Nothing was out there, but I took another photo. Look at this." I'm gonna insert the 2 photos he has, and he then says, "Is it just me, or is there something in the first photo, right where the banister meets the shelves, hiding on the stairs? I wasn't sure if it was a smudge or something, so I took a second photo from inside. There was something out there." That is so creepy. I debolted the lock and got into bed because I don't know what else to do. I can still hear my cat meowing at the door. I am pretty scared. And then he has a picture of his cat just standing by the door. The next morning he writes, "Good morning. I thought I'd clarify a couple of things for new followers. First of all, I am alive. Secondly, I've tested the apartment for carbon monoxide, so I know I'm not slowly being poisoned. Last, I have a book coming out next year, but it has nothing to do with David. This isn't viral marketing. It's just a book of funny comics." So he is an artist, so a lot of people were thinking maybe he is just doing this to gain followers, but he says here that his book has nothing to do with David. It's just comics and funny things. So I hope that clears things up. I'll keep you updated if any more weird stuff occurs. So then on August 10th, he tweets, "It's been pretty quiet tonight. I'm going to try out a sleep talk app to see if anything happens during the night. I'm heading to bed, but the cats are back at my door. They only do this in the middle of the night. It's routine now." So I guess then in the morning he tweeted, "The app picked up way too much noise last night. Cars on the street, subways, etc. I'm gonna alter the settings and try again tonight." Then at 8:10 in the night, he goes, "Here we go again." Just minutes before midnight, the cat is just sitting by the door. And in this video, it looks like he's just waiting for something to come to the door. Like he's waiting for something to be there. It's really creepy. Maxwell is extra talkative tonight. He's obviously trying to tell me something. I'm guessing Maxwell is one of the cats, and that is extremely creepy. They're both there now. Then he posts a picture and he kind of made a ring of salt around the door to keep away spirits and evil. I heard that's a thing. So it looks like he did that, and he said, "I don't even know if this is the right kind of salt, but I guess he did it anyway." And then he said on 8/11, "I used a sound app to record my apartment last night. It makes individual recordings each time it hears something. There were 33 recordings. Most of them are pretty vague. A couple of them are passing cars and the like, but there are 3 that I'm interested in." Okay. I did not read this far into the tweets, and I just got the chills because it says the first is a snapping sound and what seems to be a single step. It's odd because I didn't get out of bed at all last night. The reason I'm tearing up at this is because I literally keep hearing a snapping noise outside my window. And it sounds like it's getting further away. That's terrifying. Let's listen to the noise. That was the first noise he heard. Then he says, "This one is weird because out of 33 recordings, this is the only one that has a strange electric sound throughout." sounds really creepy because when spirits are around, they normally mess with technology. So people have said they mess with technology and make static sounds, so that's kind of creepy. This directly follows the electric static. After another snap, then I groan in my sleep. So the noise groaning is him. I didn't really hear anything that time. Maybe I'll listen one more time. I heard the snap in the beginning, and then I heard him groan, and I didn't hear anything after that, but it's very creepy. These happened between 2 and 3 a.m. I have no explanation for them. I'll keep recording and share if I find anything curious. Then he also said, I'm going out of town this weekend, so ghost tweets will be spare for a bit, but I'm ordering supplies for next week. And he ordered sage and I don't even know, these weird black stones, raw black tourmaline natural stones. I don't know what those do, but I know sage is like, people use sage to get out spirits and bad negative energy. I'm also in touch with some paranormal professionals. I'll get to the bottom of this. Also bought this, even though people are warning against it. No plans to use it, but at least I have it. And he puts a picture of him holding a Ouija board. The idea of that really scares me because I heard a lot of people were saying that that could be really, really bad if he would use the Ouija board, because it would be welcoming spirits into his house and welcoming Dear David more into his apartment. But that would be interesting to see what would happen if he did use it. Then he tweeted on 8/12, getting the F out of my haunted apartment for the weekend. And he tweeted a selfie of him. And on 8/13, someone replied to the photo and said, eyes, nose, and mouth, misshapen head, small stature. Please tell me it's just a painting. And basically this kid zoomed in the background, and there's a reflection on the door of what seems to be Dear David. When I am looking at this photo, I personally can like make myself see about 5 different faces in the photo if I try. Like I literally see 5 different faces in this photo. But what is that noise? It sounds like someone's on the side of my house, but nobody's home besides me. Alright, this Dear David stuff is definitely getting to my head. So yeah, I see like 10 different faces. I don't exactly think I see the one that he sees, but apparently you could see Dear David there. And Adam Ellis, the man who's been tweeting all this, says, I have no explanation for this. So then on 8/14 he tweeted, so a weird thing just happened. Take it with a grain of salt. I bought a Polaroid camera this weekend because they're fun and dorky, and I decided to take a few photos around my apartment. Polaroids are stupid and fun and inherently sort of creepy. I didn't expect to find anything, and for the most part, I didn't. I took a couple of my living room and bedroom. That's the rocking chair I first saw David in. They're pretty unremarkable. So as you can see in both photos, there's really nothing crazy going on. Then I went into the hallway and snapped a photo. The Polaroid developed completely black. That gives me the chills. I even ripped open and destroyed a fresh pack to see if it was just an underdeveloped Polaroid, but they start out white. I also thought maybe I accidentally covered the lens with my finger, so I took another photo while intentionally covering it. The photo on the left is me covering the lens with my finger. The one on the right is my fully lit hallway, taken just after midnight. I'll record myself sleeping again tonight, and I have sage being delivered tomorrow. As always, I'll keep you in the loop. Okay, one last thing, because I wanted to double check. Here's a couple videos of me taking photos. And then he posted some videos for even more proof that he's not making this up. And then he says, and the hallway, and he shows it came out totally black again for a second time. Honestly, I don't know why I'm still messing around with this camera. There might be a logical explanation. Someone told me to take photos from farther away, so I tried that, once with my iPhone and once with the Polaroid. This tweet made me believe it more than any other tweets that he said. Left is with my iPhone. The right one is with a Polaroid. The hall light was on both times. Why is it pitch black each time with the Polaroid? That is just terrifying. Like, that is terrifying. This whole thread has been really convoluted, and I'm sorry if it's hard to follow. I just thought this was all weird and wanted to share. Then he tweeted, folks have been urging me to get some sage, so I did, and he puts pictures of him, says, saging the hall and definitely saging the heck out of this rocking chair. Honestly, sage doesn't seem like it'll help much, but I'm open to anything. I barely slept last night. I kept waking up and feeling like something was wrong. But who knows, maybe this will do something. Then he tweeted the next day, sage did not work. I haven't dreamed about David in a few months, but he appeared again last night. In the dream, my bedroom was filled with hazy smoke, but I could see David sitting in the chair across the room. He was smaller this time, almost shrunken. He didn't do or say anything except look at me. Anyways, it feels like a bad omen. Then 4 days ago he said, apparently strange faces have been showing up in some of the photos I've taken. A couple people have pointed this out, which I don't have a real explanation for. And he shows a picture of the photos, and then in the background you see this weird, I don't even know what that is, like a person, an animal, I'm not really sure, but it's creepy. There's also this, which seems to be less weird, but still odd, that it resembles David. Make of it what you will. And he posts the zoomed in photo of what seems to be Dear David in the reflection of the door. The second one doesn't alarm me so much since it seems like it might be a reflection, but that first one gives me the creeps. Then 3 days ago he tweeted, it's been 2 weeks and he still does this every night at midnight, and it's his cat sitting by the door. Other weird stuff has been happening too. I've been recording myself sleep and it picks up this weird static electricity sound every night at 3 a.m. It lasts about 5 minutes. 3 a.m. is known for paranormal things to happen. Like 3 a.m. is prime paranormal time. So that is just super freaky. This morning I woke up to the whole house shaking. It felt like a small earthquake. I debated even mentioning that on Twitter because it sounds made up, but I distinctly felt the house swaying. It's just a whole bunch of small things happening at once. I feel so uneasy, like right before a thunderstorm comes. Everyone is telling me to move, but I don't have any guarantee that this won't follow me. And that is kind of where we are left off with Dear David. That is the most updated tweet at the moment. He hasn't really said anything else thus far about it. But with that being said, this story completely gave me the chills. I honestly didn't believe it much until I saw those Polaroids that he took of the hallway. I'm very skeptical about things. It takes a lot for me to really believe in paranormal things. I believe in paranormal stuff. I believe in ghosts and all that stuff, but it takes a lot for me to believe it. Like, something really intense has to happen. There has to be a lot of proof for me to believe it, and that picture of that hallway just freaks me out. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this was because 2 reasons now. One, as I'm sure you heard, there kept being a snapping noise outside my window, which has stopped now, but I kept hearing a snapping noise the entire time I was filming this video, and that just started happening right before I started filming this, which is so creepy because I didn't even read that tweet that he heard a snapping noise in his apartment. I didn't even know that. That just freaked me out. And secondly, because the day that I watched Haley Reese's video about the Dear David story, I had gone to the movies that night. I saw Annabelle, and when I was walking out of the theater, there was this kid playing on the piano, and he was playing this really creepy music. And I started recording him, which, by the way, if you guys want to see these things and experience these things on my Snapchat, follow me on my Snapchat. It's just brookeelardo. It's in the description below. But anyway, so this kid was playing the piano, really creepy but pretty, and I wanted to record it because I love piano, I love music, so I was recording him doing that. And then right in front of me there was a billboard for Jurassic World, like the second part coming out next summer, and I love Jurassic World, so I wanted to take a photo of it so I could remember the date and like remember that another one was coming out. And my camera went black. I was on Snapchat and I took a photo of the billboard thing, and the picture just went completely black. Like, the picture was black. I tried screenshotting it, but it wouldn't let me, and my phone kind of froze. And then once I got it to finally lock and unlock, the photo was still black. I X'd it out. I tried taking another photo and for a second it was black, and then my Snapchat just crashed. That was the weirdest thing ever. That gave me the chills because it was late at night. It was around almost 1, I'm gonna say. And it just creeped me out so much because I had just heard the story about Dear David and saw the Polaroids of the black hallway and how they were coming out black. And then I went to take a photo and it was black. I just found that to be so creepy. It probably was a coincidence. I'm not having any dreams about David. I'm not experiencing anything paranormal. If I was, I would make a video about it. I don't think I'm being haunted by Dear David. I just thought it was a really, really creepy, weird, so-called coincidence that happened the day I found out about Dear David. But yeah, so this was a creepy paranormal mystery that we are going to have to keep looking into, and I will definitely update you guys about this story if there are any updates that happen. And yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe down below. I post videos every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And make sure you guys subscribe to my main channel where I post my singing videos. I am also thinking about starting vlogging on this channel, so let me know what you guys think about that. I don't really know where I would take you. I spend most of my days laying in my bed watching Netflix, but if I ever do something adventurous, I will take you guys. But anyway, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching. I love you as always, and bye. Then on 8/13, he also said, "Why do people who claim to be a part of the master race..." Oh, that has nothing to do with Dear David.